Hello everyone, welcome to my March Madness speech presentation. For this presentation, I am going to be doing Halsey's A Story Like Mine. Primarily, Halsey's speech was performed at the Women's March. The first Women's March started in 2017, and Halsey performed at the Women's March in New York City in 2018. Here is a brief look at Halsey's presentation.
Hello. How are you guys? This is my second March. I was in D.C. last year, and I came back to do a speech this time, but I don't really know how to do a speech unless it rhymes. So I'm going to do a little poem for you guys. It's 2009, and I'm 14, and I'm crying. Not really sure where I am, but I'm holding the hand of my best friend Sam in the waiting room of a Planned Parenthood. The air is sterile and clean, and the walls are that not gray, but green, and the lights are so bright they could burn a hole through the seam of my jeans, and my phone is buzzing in the pocket. My mom is asking me if I remembered my keys, because she's closing the door and she needs to lock it. But I can't tell my mom where I've gone. I can't tell anyone at all. You see, my best friend Sam was raped by a man that we knew because he worked in the after-school program. And he held her down with her textbooks beside her, and he covered her mouth, and then he came inside her. So now I'm with Sam at the place with a plan, waiting for the results of a medical exam, and she's praying she doesn't need an abortion. She couldn't afford it. And her parents would, totally kill her. It's 2002, and my family just moved, and the only people I know are my mom's friend Sue and her son. He's got a case of Matchbox cars, and he says that he'll teach me to play the guitar if I just keep quiet. And the stairwell beside apartment 1245 will haunt me in my sleep for as long as I am alive, and I'm too young to know why it aches in my thighs, but I must lie. I must lie. It's 2012, and I'm dating a guy, and I sleep in his bed, and I just learned how to drive, and he's older than me, and he drinks whiskey neat, and he's paying for everything. This adult thing, it's not cheap. We've been fighting a lot, almost 10 times a week, and he wants to have sex, and I just want to sleep, but he says I can't say no to him. This much I owe to him. He buys my dinners, so I have to blow him. He's taken to forcing me down on my knees, and I'm confused because he's hurting me while he says please. And he's only a man, and these things he just needs. He's my boyfriend. So why am I filled with unease? It's 2017, and I live like a queen. And I followed damn near every one of my dreams. I'm invincible, and I'm so fucking naive. I believe I'm protected because I live on a screen. Nobody would dare act that way around me. I've earned my protection, eternally clean. Until a man that I trust gets his hands in my pants. But I don't want none of that. I just wanted to dance, and I wake up the next morning like I'm in a trance and there's blood. Is that my blood? Oh, hold on a minute. You see, I've worked every day since I was 18. I've toured everywhere from Japan to Mar-a-Lago. I even went on stage that night in Chicago when I was having a miscarriage. I mean, I pied the piper. I put on a diaper and sang out my spleen to a room full of teens. What do you mean this happened to me? You can't put your hands on me. You don't know what my body has been through. I'm supposed to be safe now. I earned it. It's 2018, and I've realized that nobody is safe long as she is alive. And every friend that I know has a story like mine. And the world tells me we should take it as a compliment. But then heroes like Ashley and Simone and Gabby, Michaela and Gaga, Rosario, Allie, remind me this is the beginning, it is not the finale, and that's why we're here, and that's why we rally. It's Olympians and a medical resident, and not one fucking word from the man who is president. It's about closed doors and secrets and legs and stilettos from the Hollywood Hills to the projects and ghettos, when babies are ripped from the arms of teen mothers and child brides cry globally under the covers who don't have a voice on the magazine covers. They tell us, take cover. But we are not free until all of us are free. So love your neighbor. Please treat her kindly. Ask her her story and then shut up and listen. Black, Asian, poor, wealthy, trans, cis, Muslim, Christian, listen, listen, and then yell at the top of your lungs. Be a voice for all those who have prisoner tongues. For the people who had to grow up way too young, there is work to be done. There are songs to be sung. Lord knows there's a war to be won. Thank you.
Halsey's speech at the Women's March created an effective tone to appeal to women who are victims of domestic and sexual violence. This speech paved the way for every other woman to speak out about her existence, to feel included, and to feel powered and loved. This speech is the reason why women have taken a part of the hashtag #MeToo movement. Without her speech, there would be no movement. Halsey's speech was effective because she had short and repetitive sentence, harsh and emotional language, and she used various rhetorical appeals that created an effective and powerful speech that helped women feel included and loved and to become a part of the Me Too movement. Halsey used short and repetitive sentences in her speech. She repeated the word "it's" and followed it by a year to talk about how this problem is constant. The speaker does this to remind women in attendance that the ongoing problem of sexual assault has yet to end, that year after year there's a different yet similar encounter. Furthermore, she also uses short and succinct sentences to get her point across. Sentences such as, and every friend that I know has a story like mine, allow the people in the audience to understand how severe the moment in her life is. She talks about people like Ashley and Simone and Gabby, Michaela, Gaga, Rosario, and Allie to talk about the various women that have spoken out about sexual assault in their workforce and in general in their life. When she says, every girl I know has a story like mine, she gets straight to the point, using a short sentence to remind people, there's more people like me that have a story like mine. Furthermore, every year she knows that there's a new experience. But while that moment only lasts a couple of minutes, she reminds the audience with her short and repetitive sentences that she's reminded of the pain forever. Next, Halsey uses harsh and emotional language to get her point across. This way, she creates a tone of urgency and sincerity. All throughout the speech, she uses words such as forcing and fucking to describe exactly her sexual assault experience. When she talks about how in 2017 she was invincible and she was so fucking naive, she was talking about how she felt so harsh and so alone throughout her experiences. Then she goes on to talk about her miscarriage in Chicago. And when she talks about this, she doesn't exactly say how it went through, but the use of the words forcing allows her to portray that message, to exactly say, this is how I felt. Somebody was forcing me to feel like this. Then she also uses words like and cuz to create a street-like tone, to create a message for girls that are listening, for people, teenagers of any young age, to understand that this problem doesn't have an age attached to it. This allows people in the audience to feel included. She wants that feeling to die. She wants that feeling of being naive and being alone and feeling like nothing to die. She wants justice. She uses this common street language to create inclusiveness amongst the teenage realm. She uses these words to make it easier for younger generations to understand and even relate to her experiences. By using these words, Halsey creates a sense of urgency and sincerity so that others are able to empathize more deeply. Next, Halsey uses descriptive language. She uses a variety of rhetorical appeals to pave the way for more participation in the Me Too movement. She uses descriptive languages and she uses descriptive language and stories to appeal to the reader's emotions by describing her pain and agony. In her second paragraph, she says, "I'm too young to know why it aches in my thighs." This paints a picture for the person that is watching, or even little girls who are in the audience to know. I was so young whenever this experience happened to me that she's trying to relate to the past and say, when I was this age, I didn't know why I felt this way. Furthermore, she does this all throughout her entire presentation when she says that this much I owe to him, he buys my dinner, so I have to blow him. She's talking about how she feels forced in this relationship with her boyfriend, talking about how she doesn't know why she feels like this. She doesn't know why she has to do this. She feels like she has to justify the acts of her sexual assault because that person was her boyfriend. And she's trying to paint that picture by using these descriptive tones and appealing to the audience this way. Secondly, she also uses rhetorical questions all throughout her speech to try to include the audience to understand more, to try to guilt trip the audience in a way, trying to tell them, why am I filled when I ease? Why am I filled with unease if this is my boyfriend? What do you mean this happened to me? Is that my blood? The use of these rhetorical questions allow the audience to feel kind of guilty for this, to understand why is this happening to her? If I know that this is happening to someone, if I get to understand why this is happening to somebody that isn't me, it allows the audience to kind of ask these questions to themselves and understand more of why she's talking about this and this encounter. All of these rhetorical appeals, all in all, allow people to understand why this is happening to Halsey, why this is continuing, why is this a problem that hasn't ended. The entire purpose of this speech and why it's the most effective speech is because Halsey is trying to relay the message that this is sexual assault, that in her last paragraph when she says, "So love your neighbor and please treat her kindly," she's trying to spread that message of kindness and positivity, to include people in it, to try to understand that this needs to end. This needs to end. That without the end of this situation, of this sexual assault, of this violence, that there's never going to be a solution for women, that women are never going to receive the justice that they deserve, that there are so many problems going on. When she talks about that babies are being ripped from the arms of their teen mothers and child brides are crying globally under the covers, she's trying to talk about people that don't have a voice, and that people like Halsey, people in positions of authority and power, celebrities in Hollywood that have the opportunity to speak out and gain attention from the audience, that they have the power to be a voice for those people that don't. So this proves that Halsey has the most effective speech presented through her use of short and repetitive sentences and her use of a harsh and emotional language and rhetorical appeals. Halsey proves that she wants this to end, that the whole point of her speech, A Story Like Mine, is that she wants to be the last person that has a story like her. Thank you so much, and I hope that you enjoyed.